Hello, my name is Anne, and this is Toby, and Happy New Year. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My channel, I talk about my three favorite things, which are knitting, cross stitch, and quilting. And quilting's kind of new for me in the past year, but anyway, I'm a bit obsessed. Cross stitch I've done since I was about 17, and knitting my grandmother taught me that I lived next door to, and I don't even remember the first time she taught me how to knit. So let's just say it was over 60 years ago. I'm not sure. If you are a returning viewer, oh, thanks for coming back. I hope you had a fabulous Christmas and a wonderful New Year. Not that we could do an awful lot this year. We actually babysat our grandson. He's 20 months old, and it was the first time we'd have an overnighter. And let's just say he slept like a log. Me, not so much. You forget what it's like when you have a little one in the house. I mean, he comes here 2-3 days a week to be babysat, and he sleeps quite comfortably for 2 hours each afternoon, in which case I either do a bit of cross stitch or I nap. And but I'd never had him overnight, so it was kind of a bit weird. I kept him thinking he was going to wake up after 2 hours or stuff like that, you know. Anyway, needless to say, he had a great time, and it was just super nice. So here's how I'm going to go forward with my channel this year, 2022. Mondays are going to be all about the knitting, and will still be called Toby Knits. And we are now on episode 89, by the way. Tuesdays I won't record. Wednesdays is going to be cross stitch, but I will be calling it floss tube, Toby Knits floss tube. And I will start it from number 1, even though I've shown you some of my cross stitch in the past. Thursdays, nothing. Fridays is quilting, and that's just going to be quilty fun. I'm going to try to do them every week, and I'm going to record every Sunday. So today is actually Sunday, and no, I'm not going to keep swapping my sweater every time I'm recording a new section. You'll just get me like this all week. It's snowed all day today. I don't know what it's like for you guys, but oh, it's actually been quite nice. I haven't been out and don't intend to. So anyway, I've rabbited on for nearly 3 minutes about what you can expect from me for the next year, all being well. So let's dive straight in to the knitting. I am going to try to keep the videos only 10 minutes too as well. So where did I end up last year? Last year, sounds like it was such a long time ago, I was working on the Christmas in the Big Woods, which was the Bakery Bears mystery knit along on their Patreon page. And I finished them. They are so nice. And I have to say, I've actually worn them once. And I haven't washed them yet. But I tend to wear my socks like 2 or 3 times before I wash them, because they don't really smell or nothing. But I don't wear them every single day, one after the other. I have that many. I just change them up. And then after about the 3rd wear, I wash them. I used to wash them by hand too, but now I don't. Now we do them in the cold wash in the wash machine, and then I air dry them. That's all I do these days. So here, they're both the same. They're just different colors, and each section she had a different chart for. And I really, really enjoyed doing them. I enjoyed it immensely because, number one, it was nice to do a different pattern instead of just, you know, stocking stitch. But it wasn't a lot of a pattern. It was like 17 rows. So it was, you know, it was good and taxing for your brain, making you think, but not to the point where you couldn't concentrate on nothing else. Once you'd got the 4 or 5 pattern or stitch repeat in, it was super easy to follow. Really, really, really enjoyed these. Thank you so much, Kay Jones. The other thing I was working on was my socks from Ellie Jones, no relation. And they were, it's called Starlight Wishes. And I got one finished right before Christmas. And these are really pretty too. And I wanted it to look like the night sky with the shooting stars here and all the little other stars peeking through, and then of course all my northern lights. And they have these cute baubles on the top too. So this is a really nice sock. I really enjoyed this one. This is her Christmas one. She puts one out every year, and so I have just cast on for the rib. So I think I have about 4 or 5, or maybe I'm halfway on the rib. But anyway, so that's that. And the other sock I was working on, which was for Bob for Christmas. And this is another Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears sock. And I did get one finished. Oh, I say it matches my sweater, which is the Flax by Tin Can Knits, by the way. So here is this one. And it's a really interesting pattern. One, it's a two row repeat. One is just plain and the other is through the back loop. So it's very nice. Look how big his foot is. Honest to God, I get fed up doing men's socks because they have such big feet. It seems to go on forever. Anyway, so I have also started his second sock. And that's where I've got to on that one. So I have just started his leg. So what are my plans and how is my knitting going to work this year? So I've come up with a very delicious plan because of course I have so many crafts that I do. So my new plan is I bought this off of Etsy. It's a an Editor's planner and it's a printable. So I couldn't be bothered to wait for something to come in the mail. Of course, if anybody wants to send me one, you're very welcome to. And you just put in here what it is you're working on. It's hard to hold because it's so big. So here is my project tracker. And my plan is to finish the Jelly Roll blanket, finish the Pemberton pullover for Bob, finish Shawlology. And I would like to start, of course, the Starlight, the 2 pairs of socks. And I would like to start on a simple cowl for Tristan, my grandson, and a hat to match it. I believe the simple cowl is a free pattern, and it's in my Ravelry. So you can always check out my Ravelry, which is Brit Hockey Mum, I think. And then, oh, here it is right here. So I thought that was sweet because his mom said, can you give me something he can just pull over his head? Because, you know, she doesn't want to put scarves around his neck. And so I thought so. And then you can write down what all your projects are going to be, when you started it, what yarn you used. I mean, it's obviously, I could do that in Ravelry, which I do, but I love paper and pens. That's what I love. So I'm going to fill those out for each new project that I start. And I'm going to knit on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday evenings because I have to do something every night. So my plan is to do that. And I'm going to do my socks on Tuesday. So one sock one Tuesday, one sock the other Thursday. God. And on the weekend, on the Saturday, will either be a shawl or a sweater. And in this case, it will be Shawlology, which I should show you that. I have just started section 4. I put this down before Christmas in December because I wanted to work on Christmas stuff. So here is the shawl so far. It's huge and it's on a huge 60 inch cable or whatever, millimeters. I don't know if it's millimeters or inches, but here is where we are at with it. And I've just started section 4, which is going to be a stripe border all the way across. And this section, I've done section 1 and section 2. So I will be starting with the gray next. and I have to I-cord bind off to this marker here, which is where this funny little increase section had been. And then I'm going to start knitting in the stripes. And I don't believe I do any more increases at that point, but each, as you're going, your I-cord bind offing as you're going, which is kind of cool, because by the time I get to this end, and I'll be totally fed up with the whole thing, it will be finished. So I really am enjoying this too. This is a really nice knit to work on. So that one will be getting worked on Saturdays right now. And then once it's finished, it'll move to the Pemberton pullover. So that is the knitting for right now. And so I hope you've enjoyed that. So come back next week. I'll show you my progress on my socks and my shawl. And we'll talk about any other fabulous knitting ideas that have come up that you might have. Because let me tell you, I had so many great comments from people on my last video about whether I should separate all of these and have 3 different channels, whether I should keep them together but make them different names. And oh, I'm so thankful that you guys all took the time to comment and let me know what you thought, because you got your wish. I'm keeping the same channel, but it will just be different days, and we'll start a whole new numbering system for this year. So anyway, that's it for now. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you next week for knitting, but on Wednesday for cross stitch. Bye.